We're in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. There's that big, I like arcades and stuff like that.
I'm Johnette, and we're going to see Dolly Parton's Dixie Stampede.
There's a pot of golden dreams untold waiting here for me. Gather round the campfire, friends and family. Our journey west was the best, it's where we wanna be.
She walks through the corn leading down to the river. Her hair shone like gold in hot morning sun.
$80,000 square feet.
Oh wow. This is the extent of their house?
Yeah, except for the attic, they have some bedrooms upstairs, I think.
Now coming up on your right here is going to be Dollywood's old-fashioned grist mill. It's one of the last operating grist mills left around today. That's the home of that world-famous cinnamon bread. If you hadn't tried any of that cinnamon bread, you definitely need to. I'd get 2 loads though, because one's not going to make it back to the car.
So what's happening here is they're grinding cane to make cane syrup. That's cool.
Cane syrup that you use on pancakes.
Okay.
And
Do you use a mule?
It grows like a corn stalk.
Okay.
And we use the mule. My uncle used the mule for grinding.
Very cool. This is the town, Sevierville, that Dolly Parton was born in, grew up in. It's her statue in front of the courthouse. Look at you. Just resting there, huh? This is supposed to be the area where Dolly Parton grew up. Here's Locust Ridge. Okay. I don't know if you can go down that road. There's a driveway. Private drive that way. 600 feet. Okay.
You have arrived.
How about that? So that area back back there that's, and this is fenced off with old fencing.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Let's look at the area here.
We have a lot.
Mm-hmm. Maybe down there. Where would they put a house?
I think probably
You want to
that
get
drive
out?
that said
Should
it
we
was
get out?
private. No, let's go on up here on the hill so we can see what's on the other side. I don't know how deep these.
Oh, here. No, that's the road. How would they build a house here?
Okay. Keep going. We don't see any houses, but go slowly.
Well, see, now we're passing it.
Okay. I think it was more than likely up that hill where they said private property. That's
Okay.
and then it
Wandered
the
around.
property winds around.
Uh-huh. I don't know. Here's something here. Another house here.
Wow, that one looks just about as old as I am.
Yeah, there's possibly a neighbor's house. I don't know. I don't know where else you would put a house in these areas here. Because obviously that went way down.
What does that say?
Where?
Seeing cameras, seeing something.
Where are you
on that
looking?
sign down there on the
Oh.
that's a log building though. Whoa.
What does it say? Secret camera or something like that?
Yeah. Security cameras.
Oh, security
All right.
camera.
And
Okay.
all right, I wanted to see the front of this.
Okay.
If we can. I'm not going on the property though.
Right. Very small. Look at that.
In that now that looks like one of the one-room houses.
Uh-huh.
If you'll pull over here, I will chance. If somebody comes around this curve though in your lane,
Yeah,
they
let
might hit you.
me pull over here so they can see me. Okay? And then you can walk back.
Yeah.
Alright. They'll at least see me over here on the side.
Yeah. Don't go too far on the side. It might
I
dip
don't
down.
think it dips. I think that's fine. Walk back and see if you see anywhere where there could have been a house. Horton Lane and Locust Ridge Road. It's a creek. Yeah, so that was a river. It's a little Pigeon River here. This is our Hatfields and McCoy's dinner. And this here is Uncle Tom. He's our server. There's a schoolhouse right here.
Okay.
It's made just for
Under
us.
Tennessee law. I'll go back home.
Okay. So that looks like a schoolhouse that we just passed, and we had to turn around to take a picture of it. See the bell up there? So cute. So it looks like we're going to get a private tour of the schoolhouse from the owner.
Go this way.
Wow.
We didn't park right here.
Is this here good right here, or go all the way around? So where should we park?
Right here.
Okay. You said over there.
Okay.
Pull him along, I guess.
This is property.
It's his property, so okay.
This is absolutely wonderful.
Wow. Who would have thought?
Me.
Yeah, Jonette's idea. She said, I see somebody walking over here. Let's wait and see who it is. And I said, yeah, I don't know.
It's happened before.
Yeah. So let me tell him who we are. So, this is John.
Yes.
And how long have you owned this property?
It's been in my wife's family since 1900.
Oh, wow. Okay. And you've lived here how long yourself?
I lived in Philadelphia until 2009. We retired in 2009 and moved back here.
Uh-huh.
And my wife's mother was raised on this property.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And there were 5 siblings in that family, and they all went to school here.
Okay.
And this was built in 1917. We have the bill of sale for the lumber for it.
Oh, my goodness.
It was $386, I believe it was.
Uh-huh.
There was another school just up the road from here that blew down. So some of that lumber they were able to salvage and use here. But this was a school from 17 until 49. It closed in 49.
Mm-hmm. And where did they live?
They lived in the clump of trees right over there.
In the clump of trees?
Yep.
So
There's
they...
an old house over there, and
An
that's
old
where
house.
they lived.
Oh, let's see. Is it still there, or?
Yes, the old house is still there. And my wife's grandfather lived about a mile up the road.
Okay.
And my wife's grandmother was raised in an old house that's just this side of that old barn you see there.
Uh-huh.
In a clump of trees that's falling down. So
And that's all still there too, huh? Oh, and where are you living now, if I
I live
may
up
ask?
where my wife's.
You're up there. In a newer
Her great-
house, or?
Her great grandfather built that house up there in 1904.
Okay. How lovely. And were they teachers, or how did they
Well,
come to have this a schoolhouse?
My wife's grandmother taught until she had children. And she had 5 children, and 4 of those were teachers. So there's been a lot of teaching in the family.
Yeah. Right. Okay, let's take a look.
Have you been in an old school like this before?
I don't.
Now this was the boys' cloakroom. That's where they put their lunches, and there was a hook under each lunchbox place.
Okay.
And they hung their coats there. And the girls was on that side. They
So
weren't-
they separated.
They had separate cloakrooms even.
Okay. Yeah. Now, I've only been like in museums and things like that. You know, where, whoops, I can get that glare out of there. Okay.
That's just a picture that
Yeah. Not
my
a
brother-in-law-
replica or anything.
No, my brother-in-law put it up there. There are a lot of pictures of this building.
Uh-huh.
It was a one-room school.
Was this a museum at one time, or is it a museum? No? Okay. Oh my, look at this. Look at this.
That is
Cardboard
not slate. We thought it was at first. But see, it's some kind of particle board. And we have been told that this black coating that's on it
Uh-huh.
is burned white potatoes.
Burned white potatoes.
And it makes a coating like that. This is eaten out because the cows used to be in here.
The
They'd walk in
cows.
here.
Okay.
So they've torn part of it out.
Yeah. What would this thing be
That's
here?
a sign for cutting wheat.
Oh.
See the blade down here?
Yeah.
And then it falls over in there and then you shock it.
My goodness, look at that.
And there were 2 windows up there, but we figured out, we think, they were boarded up long before it was closed as a school. But the sun sets over there in the evenings. And the teacher's desk is up here, so the students were looking right into the sun in the afternoon. So we think that's the reason they closed those.
Okay.
And in the morning, the sun came in from back here, so it was no problem.
And they had this right in the middle of the schoolhouse to keep them warm?
That was the stove to keep them warm. It was cold, they burned coal in it. There was some coal in that bucket.
Yeah.
It didn't warm up very well in here one time.
This
You
is
imagine
this is
it
coal?
sits as high as that. Yes.
Oh. Wow. Look at that.
When I saw you pull over and she was preparing to back up, I said, don't pull out so soon. There comes someone and he may own this place and he may let us look. And she said, no way. I said, it's happened before.
We have a lot, when I'm in here working or anything, and if I have that gate open, there's a constant stream of people. We had an open house here 3 years ago, and we had about 1,500 people in here in 3 hours.
That's wonderful.
Local people and visitors.
It's just so important to preserve old architecture, and so much of it now is being torn down for mega
Yes,
communities.
yes. And we have the original school list. We have it at our house.
Do you
That
really?
was in here, the teacher's desk, yes.
You certainly have a wonderful and important part of history.
Yes, you do.
This
How
is
special.
How did you end up in Boyd's Creek area?
We're just driving around. We went to Dollywood the other day, and now we're just looking at different areas.
What part of California are you from?
Southern California, yeah. And she's from South Carolina.
Charleston, South
I
Carolina.
just came back from Charleston a
Did
week
you
ago.
really? Okay.
Folly Beach.
Oh, yes.
And my sister lives there on Folly Beach.
I was there in June.
Yeah.
But this part of the country has a lot of history. There's an old house, a brick house over here with a big tree. Is the
Yes.
second oldest brick house in the state of Tennessee.
Oh,
And it was built there, the brick were made there by the slaves. It was built in 1795.
1795.
Is
Wow.
it admissible?
No. Well, yes and no. Sometimes it is.
Okay.
It was in the family originally. It has been sold out of the family now. But it hasn't been moved, and it's been in 3 states.
Oh, wow.
This was at one time
Recalculations.
well, this was the state of North Carolina at one time, and it was the state of Franklin at one time, and now it's the state of Tennessee.
How about that?
And so that house has not been moved, but it's been in 3 different
That
states.
is quite a history. Now, what about the family home? Could we drive down there and look at it
You
from
can
the
look at it.
outside?
Yes, it's just deteriorating though. It's
But
it's
we can
probably going to be torn down in a couple of years.
But we can see the architecture from the outside.
It's just a little 3-bedroom house, little 1-story.
Well, apparently Loretta Lynn lived in a 2-room house.
Well, there are people here that live in. I have a man that worked for me not long ago who lived in a 12 by 12 shed, dirt floor.
Yes, well, my parents.
And I mean, that's been less than 10 years ago.
Oh.
Okay. My parents had very humble beginnings in 2 and 3, 4-room houses, I'm sure.
I grew up in Middle Tennessee, near Clarksville, and I grew up in a log house. You couldn't tell it was log. It had a white siding on the outside, and it was sealed inside, but the walls were about that thick. And my older granddaughter lives in Iowa, and she was playing with Lincoln logs, and my son said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm building a log house." And he said, "What do you know about log houses?" She said, "Laura Ingalls Wilder's lived in one."
Yeah.
He said, "Did you know your granddaddy grew up in one?" She thought for a few. She said, "They had log houses back then." So she thinks I'm pretty old, I think.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Well,
Wow.
you have been so generous. I want to thank your hand, sir.
Yes.
John is a wonderful name. I'm Johnette.
Now, I don't know whether you know much about trees. That's a sassafras tree. Do you know what a sassafras
Oh, my mother used to gather the roots for tea.
That's the biggest sassafras tree I have ever seen.
Oh.
They usually are just little saplings in the fence rows,
Yes.
but I've never seen one that big.
And do you enjoy sassafras tea?
Yes, let me see if I can find something. I think it's in
Now I see it's growing out of the building here. How did that happen?
Well, it grew out from, it's a wild, I mean, it's invasive.
Uh-huh.
And it grew out from under the building, and we were going to cut it. But my sister-in-law told us she'd kill us if we did.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't find it. We've got a picture of that tree.
Yeah.
And it was only about that big around.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now, this is a picture that was someone painted of the schoolhouse.
Okay. Oh, and look at that. There's the tree. Yeah. They just planted it a little bit close, didn't they?
Well, they didn't plant it. It came up, it's a wild,
Oh, I
it's
see.
a wild tree.
Okay.
And we had to cut the frame of the building out to keep it from raising the building up.
Yeah. Huh. My goodness, how special is this?
But they've done 4 movies here. They did one about 2 weeks ago.
Did they? And what were the movies?
One of them was Out of the Wilderness. It hasn't come out yet.
Okay.
It's about
Out of the Wilderness. We'll have to look for that.
it's about a man coming out of the Civil War from Pennsylvania, I think, and starting home. and he encountered a little black boy that he worked with, and that part of the movie was filmed here. He was wounded, and an Indian medicine man healed him. They did that about 2 years ago is when they started. They haven't finished it yet. And then we've had 2 documentaries, and they just did one about 2 weeks ago. New York City came down and did one on children's play, games and all that they played. And they interviewed an older lady here, and then they had some children here singing and playing.
Oh wow, that's special.
So we get a lot of people that want to see it,
Yeah.
and you know, we let them see if they want to.
Yeah, I'd love to get a closer picture of that school bell.
Now that bell is not the original bell.
Not the original, okay.
It's right off it. Some people called in and told them that their church had burned and they built a new church, but their bell had burned. He gave them the bell that was in here, and he found out about a week later that they sold it over here at the flea market.
Yeah.
The bell tower almost blew off, and we had to redo it. When we redid it, we bought a bell and put it back up there.
Okay.
It
It rings, huh? Okay. Here's the bell. Wow. Thank you so much, John. Pleasure.
And if you don't mind, we'll circle the field and look at the outside.
Well,
of the
no,
house,
if you
and
go
then
back
we'll
out on
come
the
back
road,
out.
go back out on the road,
Go
go
out on
down
the
to the
road.
corner
Okay.
and turn left.
Okay.
And just as you top a little knoll there's an old garage on your right, plenty of room to park there, and the old house is on this side.
Okay,
There's
so
a
park by
trailer
the
court.
garage.
There's a trailer there in the yard too.
Okay.
But the old house is on this side.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So you were talking about Dolly growing up here,
Yes.
and some of your family knew her?
3 of my wife's aunts were teachers of hers when she was
Okay.
in school.
Was
Yeah.
it in this school here?
no.
A different
It
one?
was up in the mountains.
In the mountains,
And
okay.
in Sevierville.
In Sevierville.
But we were at a parade about 20 years ago, and I was with 2 of those aunts. My wife and I were, and they said, well, we don't think Dolly will remember us. She got off of the float that she was on, came over and hugged both of them.
Oh.
She said, I remember you. You were school teachers of mine.
Yeah.
Yep. She's a very
She's
nice
such a
person.
generous person.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, we have certainly enjoyed our visit.
I've got
and
one more
We
thing
have
to show you.
Okay, one more thing. A surprise. We have a surprise.
This well is very well. This well is 12 feet deep,
My goodness.
and there's 8 feet of water in it.
Oh my, ours is 100 feet deep.
I know. This one's 12 feet deep, and there's 8 feet of water standing in it. So you're down 4 feet of water. But, and we have the old pump, the old,
Picture pump.
that's the well. But now this, when we started making, we did it out of plastic, and it warped and the cows tore it up. But there was a metal pipe right here. And see these holes in it? There's 4 holes in it. And there was a thing that went from here to where you pump the water in it. The water came in and it squirted up. And 4 kids could drink at a time.
Yeah, he said park by the garage. So that's the house there, over there. All right, let's see if we can.
Said they were going to have it torn down. It doesn't look to be in that bad a condition.
Oh, he said to
This-
park here by the garage. So we'll park
They
over
just
here.
had to pull over.
Yeah.
Oh, look, we can take a picture of the inside stuff.
Wow. Okay. Ah,
That is special.
the car over there.
Yeah, that's a trailer. He said there was a trailer. Remember?
Or maybe here. Maybe this one. To face the street. Let's see. Yeah.
Central fireplace.
It's like a little sun porch here. How this? This is so much fun. Unexpected surprise today. Like maybe they had horses or something, or definitely cattle.
And he rode a horse to school, he said, when he started school.
Yeah. There's a chimney. Oh, there's a chimney up there too. 2 chimneys. Huh.
Is this their well?
Their well, yeah. The foundation here. It's like bricks of some kind. Yeah. Down underneath there. How interesting. Looks like they boarded that one up. Look at this machine here.
Yeah, that's a hay rake.
Hay rake? Wow. Let's take a look. Uh-huh. Look at that. Oh, did you see that truck? There's an old truck in here. Some kind of wagon. Huh. See, making turnarounds is a good thing.